Okay, you guys. So we're back for our last class of the week. And we're talking about the meanings of the verb to get, right? So get can mean lots of different things. Sometimes you are going to have get as part of a phrasal verb. Get out, get over, get up. Then you have a phrasal verb. But even get alone by itself can hold different meanings. So this is what we are going to exercise now. Among the many meanings that the verb get can have, we have the meanings that you are going to find on page. Guys, can you check the page of this activity for me? If it's page 63. Yes? Page 63, this exercise, just confirm it for me. With the verb to have, this is an exercise from your book. You are going to choose a synonym to represent the verb get in each of these sentences. You have the meaning receive, arrive, buy, become, understand, and pick up. All of these are possible meanings for the verb to get. What you guys are going to do is you are going to substitute the verb get in the sentence for one of its possible meanings in a way that you have the same meaning, okay? The activity becomes easier because they show the verb in its correct form. So if you have gets, you are either going to have receives or picks up, right? So it helps you to find the meaning. But I'm going to give you a couple minutes to find the answers for this activity, okay? So just substitute the verb get by one of its meanings. Go! Yes, perfect. Okay, you guys, let's correct it. First of all, I want to tell you that I was talking here to my friends in the room that you guys are awesome. I love the fact that you guys are there and you answer and you really do carry out the activities. This is fantastic. So I can't thank you enough. I never feel lonely here because you guys are always there answering everything. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I've seen that some of you are answering there, okay? So let's just check it. It isn't difficult, right? Letter A, it says, sometimes my sister gets our dinner on her way from work, on her way home from work. So here it means that sometimes my sister picks up, right? She goes there, she goes to a restaurant, to a drive-through, and she gets our dinner. She picks up our dinner on her way home from work. Perfect. I need to get a new webcam because mine is out of order. Are you familiar with the expression out of order? When something is broken, when something is not working, you say it's out of order, okay? So I need to get a new webcam. I need to buy, right? I need to obtain a new webcam because mine is out of order. So to buy. C, it takes me more than an hour to get to school in the morning. To get to school, to arrive to school, right? So C, the meaning is to arrive. D, I am sure Professor Smart will get angry if Jenny doesn't take the test today. He will get angry. It's the same meaning of the first example, right? To get tough. So I'm sure Professor Smart will become angry if Jenny doesn't take the test today. E, can you repeat what you said about the school team? I didn't get it. Get meaning understand. I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. The same way we can say, I got it, when you want to say, I understood it. I got it. And F, Miss Taylor gets lots of emails from clients all over the world. Miss Taylor receives, right? It isn't difficult. I'm sure you guys got it easily. Do you see in letter F when it says Ms. Taylor, M.S. Taylor? You know that in English, if you are single, you are Miss Taylor. If you are married, you are Mrs. Taylor. If you don't want to specify, if you want the neutral term for a woman, that it doesn't say if you're married or single, you use Ms. Taylor, only M.S. Okay? Did you know that? I'm sure you guys did. Next, Henrique. So, let's finish the exercises on the first text, because before we take the second text, before we read the second text, we're going to take a quiz, okay? But let's finish this first. These questions are in Portuguese. If you would like to answer them in Portuguese, that's okay. But I'm going to explain the answers in English, if that's okay with you, okay? So it says, go back to the text on page 60 and answer the questions below. Acknowledge some of the characteristics of the news as a textual genre, okay? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 questions. I'm going to give you guys again a couple minutes to answer it, and then we're going to discuss them, okay? So it's a piece of news, so you're going to analyze it as news. Let's do it. Henrique, Okay. Okay, you guys, let's correct it, okay? First things first. When we talk about text genre, we talk about the characteristics, and I'm sure you guys study this in Portuguese excessively, right? That whenever you have a certain type of text, you have recurring characteristics. So when you read, for example, an email, you have certain characteristics like the way you start the email, the way you sign the email, the address itself. There are characteristics that help you identify you are writing an email. When you are writing an ad, you have lots of imperatives, right? Drink Coca-Cola because it is an ad. When you have poetry, you have an attention to the words you choose, because you not only want to express something, but you want to express in the most beautiful manner possible. So, each genre holds its characteristics, okay? Each type of text holds its own characteristics. And we are here discussing news. The characteristics for news are, first, they should be impartial, right? Generally, when you have news, when you have a newspaper article, when you have a magazine article, the author should try to be as impartial as possible. They present facts, and it's up to you, the reader, to decide how to work with those facts, right? Of course, we know that no person can be 100% neutral. You have an understanding of life itself, of the facts. So in the end, you're kind of going to show the way you feel about it. But the idea behind the news is that the information is going to be passed along for the information itself, with no judgment, with no criticism. Also, because of this characteristic, you don't have the first person generally in the news. The person is not going to say, I believe, in my opinion. No, that's called an editorial, right? In the news, everything is presented in the third person, the situation, the student, the man, the philanthropist, right? So you are talking about the persons and the things involved in the fact you want to present. So the first thing, what's the goal of the news that were presented to us? They are specifically talking about one person, one philanthropist from Brazil. But the wider picture, they are talking about the works of philanthropists that deserved special attention, the 25, right, best actions for philanthropy. To whom is it destined? Whom is the audience intended? The news is intended to whom? To what audience, right? So, it's destined to the general reader, to any person who accesses that kind of magazine or that, I don't know if it's a website or a newspaper. It's destined to the average reader, right? No one particularly. I'm not aiming at students or professionals, women or men. It's not a piece of news that it's really destined to a specific audience, right? You can observe in the news an extract that shows a personal opinion from the person who's writing. If it is positive, please show it. This one I'm going to leave for you guys. I don't want to go back to the text, so you tell me. Is there any passage where you could tell, here I have the author's opinion? Did he leave some kind of idea there hidden. You can easily find where it was issued and at what date. Can you see it? When you find the source or also below the headline, does it say what news media was being used and in what date? In what paragraph can we find information that's fundamental to the news? It's small text, right? Pretty much. It's difficult to show a paragraph particularly that shows information that's fundamental. Is it common for journalists? Oh, sorry, I'm affirming this. It's common for journalists to cite the speech from other people, right? Does this happen in the news? In what paragraph? They do show a line that's said by De Moraes, right? They put specifically what he said. And how can you identify when the speech belongs to someone else, not the author? This is easy. You're either it's going to be marked in the text, in reported speech. De Moraes said, De Moraes affirmed, he told us, right? And also because you have quotation marks. You are going to have quotation marks when they use direct speech. So because they use the exact words De Moraes used, you have also the use of quotation marks or inverted commas, okay? The quotation marks. Did anyone answer anything? Tá? Se alguém colocou a resposta aí, não? So, I'm going to take it back to the text. Tu volta para o texto, Henrique, para a gente olhar só se tem alguma passagem que a pessoa deixa transparecer que ela tem uma opinião sobre o assunto. Volta para o texto. Mais ainda. Mais ainda. Mais ainda. Mais ainda. There you go. Okay? Let's see if we can find a place in the text where they show an opinion. Okay? Reveals the best of the best. That's a fact. Chosen according to criteria. This is specific information, right? No opinion there. The list includes Brazilian entrepreneur. He sold his company, the largest computer business transaction, an NGO to help at-risk children. Many people tell me that it is risky to invest so much in an NGO, but it is worse to have the opportunity to help and not to do anything, says. So do you feel like there was a part of it when they give an opinion? I don't think so. Nowhere there the article holds the opinion of the author. He's just presenting the facts, the information, okay? And where did you find it? Latin America News, and the date is December 15th, 2009, and then you have the address where you can access the news, okay? So that's it. Now, before we move on to the next text, because we're talking so much about entrepreneurship and successful people and the importance of being successful, I want you guys to take a quiz now that ideally it is going to tell you what area you should choose to work for the rest of your life. That's a big decision to leave to a quiz, right? But let's do the quiz. Let's practice the English language. Let's see the vocabulary. Ask questions if you need. But then in the end, I want you to share your results, okay? So, Henrique, passa só uma, que eu acho que já é o endereço. Let's take this career quiz. You guys are going to access this address in BuzzFeed.com/Sarah Espler/aptitude career test. Guys, type in. I could understand from our previous activity that you have a group going on. So can anyone share this? It's an interesting quiz. I'm going to read it while you guys are taking it. And then in the end, you're going to share your results, okay? With all of us through the chat. Tassiana is going to tell me what careers you guys are going to follow, okay? Pode botar no site, por favor, Henrique? Okay. Guys, tell me if everything is okay. Okay? It's a 25-question aptitude test. They say it's scientifically proven to reveal what job you should really have. I'm sure you guys have taken many of these. Has the school done any kind of test like this with you? So let's do it together. Tell me if it's okay, if I can start reading. Tá dando certo aí, Tassi? Ah, então deixa eu só digitar. Peraí. Henry, tu bota só na tela? Tu consegue copiar e colocar para eles? Fácil. Dando certo? Tell me when you're all in, because I'm going to start reading, and you guys can answer as we discuss it. Okay? Ok? Tá, se eles vão dizer se está ok, viu? Tell me when it's okay. Henrique, tu pode só já dar uma subidinha. Ok. Ok. Pode subir mais. Ok, vai parar aí. Ok. Okay, give me a go. Give me a go. Acho que eles já estão. I think you guys are already doing it. I just want to follow through. Okay. Guys, I'm going to start explaining, okay? For the first questions, you're just going to rate if you are not interested or very interested in the topics. You have a range of possible answers. You don't have to say 100% not interested, and you don't have to say 100% very interested. You can choose in the range of possibilities, okay? The more interested, the less interested, and you can stop anywhere in between. It's not possible for you to click specifically on neutral, 100% neutral. You have to tend to one side or to the other, at least a little bit, okay? So you are going to rate your interest in the following subjects. You have art and music. Henrique, pode ir subindo assim lentamente, Overlendo. Business and entrepreneurship. Do you understand entrepreneurship, right? Being the owner of your own business. How interesting is this for you? Do you feel that you would like to be the owner of whatever practice you're going to have? You want to be independent from an employer, or do you want to work below someone who gives you orders, who directs you, okay? Next. Education and law. Do you see yourself going through more education, a master's, maybe a PhD, because you want to be a teacher, to become a professor? Do you see yourself as a lawyer? Henrique, pode ir passando. Science and technology. Do you see yourself working with experiments and developing new things? Okay, go on. Pode subir, Henrique. Travel and hospitality. And here we're not considering it as leisure, right? Is it something that you would like to work with? Is it something that interests you? Now, it changes a little bit. The question changes a little bit. You are going to rate how much you agree or disagree with the statements. Then again, you have the range, right? You can completely disagree, you can completely agree, but you can also stop in between, wherever you feel comfortable. So, I love working with numbers and data. This is fantastic. I love statistics and charts and graphs. This is my kind of thing. Go on. I want to change the world and help others. What kind of effect do you see yourself bringing to the environment around you? Go on, Henrique. I want to be a leader and supervise others. Is this something that you'd like, or would you like to work on your own? I'd rather be working with my hands than sitting at a desk. Go on. Money is more important to me than the actual work. Be honest now. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, right? Money is more important to me than the actual work. Now it changes a little bit again back to the interest range. Not interested and very interested. So rate your interest in learning about the following topics. Do you like to study? Do you like to read about food and agriculture? Animals and the environment? Non-profits and politics. Remember the non-profit organization that Morais started? So, and politics. Psychology and marketing. I see sometimes they choose two things that aren't really quite the same, right? But for some reason. Go on. Technology and media. Is it something you like to study about? Of course we like to use it, right? To take advantage of it. But is it something you like to study about? Now, rate how much these traits align with your personality and work ethics. You are now going to range whether you think you identify, you carry these characteristics on you. If you do it to a high level or to a low level, and of course you can range it, right? So we have, are you creative? Do you think of yourself as a creative person? And is it a characteristic that you would like to take to your work field? I want to work with stuff that makes me use my creativity. Go on, Henrique. Passionate. Do you feel the need to work with things you are passionate about? Or is it feeling something that you really don't relate to work and study? You'd rather work with something more rational. Assertive. Do you guys understand the sense of assertiveness? Are you able to express your feelings and idea in a way that you are not aggressive per se, but also in a way that you are honest? Because sometimes not to be aggressive, we end up not saying anything, and that's not assertive. Assertive is being able to express what you need to have expressed clearly, but without sounding aggressive. It's an art. It's a difficult art. But anyway, how assertive are you? Thoughtful. Do you consider others a lot when you're making decisions? Do you always keep in mind how your decisions will affect others? You can go on. Strategic. Do you plan well how your actions are going to connect? Or do you just kind of live it moment by moment? Okay? So are you strategic? Do you plan ahead and follow your plans. Almost done. Rate how important these values are to you. Now, one thing that you also have to take into consideration when choosing a profession, when choosing a company, is the values they hold, right? What values do they bring to the table? So, how important is it for you to grow throughout your career? So, how important is growth? And now you are going to range from not important to very important. Independence, not important to very important. Relationships. Do you feel that it's important to have good relationships at work? Or do you feel that work is work and relationships you leave aside? Recognition from others. Do you want to have other people who can give you feedback and show they are appreciative of your work? Or do you feel like this is not important? Work-life balance. Do you see yourself as a person who can be 100% or 80% job-oriented? Or do you want a job, a profession, a career that will enable you to have leisure time and you can balance how much work you do and how much free time you have, right? I'm watching a series on Netflix that talks about the routine of some doctors and nurses in a hospital in New York. And what amazes me is that they live in the hospital. They go home like once a week for a few moments, but they sleep in the hospital and they seem satisfied with that. So how important is for you to have this work-life balance? Okay. Okay. Then when you get there, click on I'm done. Click on I'm done. And let's share the results. You guys are going to type in for Tassiane what your result was. And also let me know if you agree or disagree with this result. For me, it gave me the result, as I was doing yesterday, that I could be an artist, which I have no talent for. I can't sing, I can't dance, I can't act, I can't play anything. I could be a glass blower, a person who works with arty crafts, who make things out of glass, which I'm sure I would be terrible at as well. So for me, I didn't really quite like the result. But what about for you? What result did it show, and do you agree with it? Do you have your results there? Algum resultado aí, Tássio? Já tem alguém com a carreira aí? Escritor, artista, ator. Yeah, okay, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed it, okay, the activity. And I hope this kind of thing assists you on choosing your career. But I'm sure you guys are very committed to your studies. You probably already know what you want, right, in your heart. And I feel like this quiz gives a lot of artist results. Yeah, for me too. It also showed me that I could be an artist. But okay, so anyway, just consider all the vocabulary. All of these words relate to success, which is the topic in our unit, right? The way to success. So values and aptitudes and fields, areas of study, they all relate to your way to success, okay? Henrique, back to the presentation. Vamos voltar lá no PowerPoint. Okay. Next. Yeah, there you are. Okay, so you have a second text, and these activities are going to be your homework, okay? You have the picture of a baking chef, right? A person who works on pastry. Delicious food. Can you cook? I can't cook. My husband is a better cook than I am. He actually enjoys cooking. I hate cooking. I hardly ever go to the kitchen. But anyway, so you have a pastry chef, which is a chef for sweets, right? And then you have a text talking about the career choice of being a chef. So you guys are going to read this text and do the exercises that follow as homework, okay? And then next class, we're going to begin by correcting it and discussing it. You guys are going to have English test, and I talked to your teacher, and the way I see it, your first test is always, not the first test, this test is going to be more oriented to the reading skills, right? So you're going to have tasks related to the topics we've been discussing, and then you guys are going to answer questions based on the reading. Some reported speech a little, because we discussed it so much, but you guys are not going to have any trouble with the test, I'm sure. Okay? If anything, you need to touch me, you need to be in touch with me, you can email me at english@collegioantares.com.br. It'd be a pleasure to be in touch with you guys. I hope you have enjoyed this class today. It's very nice to be with you. I think you guys are fantastic students. And let me know whenever I'm talking too much, too fast, too slow. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful week, and we'll be back together on Friday. Okay? Any questions, Tassi? Alguma coisa aí? No? Okay, you guys. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. See you next week.